There hasn't been a bigger name in the UFC than Conor McGregor, and he's done a world of good to UFC's publicity over the years. That's why he remains the topmost priority and often gets his way in situations where most other fighters wouldn't. Fighting McGregor is such a catch that even fighters that have more to lose prefer bouting him just because of how lucrative it is. First up, Conor McGregor's injury and possible return. The third fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor was hyped up and promoted in the most exceptional way possible. However, the way it ended was highly anticlimactic, with McGregor breaking his leg after an awkward landing that led to a complete break of his tibia. As a result, Dustin Poirier was declared the winner of the fight, and there were even rumors that McGregor's injury would be a career-ending one. But everyone who knows McGregor also knows that he's not somebody who gives up that easily. Immediately after the match, McGregor had already called out Poirier on his celebrations after that illegitimate win, so it was clear that he was planning to return to the octagon after recovering from his injury. Considering this happened in July of 2021, we've seen a year of McGregor carrying out his recovery, and the recent updates sound promising. From what we've seen on his Instagram, McGregor already seems fight-ready. Of course, there's still some way to go, as per Dana White, but he recently resumed sparring in the ring and explained how his leg's getting better with every passing day. McGregor's keen on a return, and he knows he'll get a blockbuster fight whenever he's ready for one. So could a fourth McGregor-Poirier fight happen? That's the biggest question, isn't it? Anyone else, after losing 2 fights out of 3, wouldn't get the 4th rematch. But then again, McGregor isn't just your average Joe. Anyone would want to face him, knowing it'll turn into a huge payday regardless of the result, and Poirier won't back out of any such challenge either. Poirier has grown very frustrated with the UFC in recent weeks, as his potential matchup with Nate Diaz is constantly being delayed, and there's no confirmation from the UFC. Poirier recently took to Twitter to hint that UFC's plans might be to save Poirier for a blockbuster clash against McGregor as soon as he makes a return. Poirier obviously isn't too thrilled about not being allowed back in the octagon for so many weeks, and with a timeline on McGregor's comeback not clear yet, it's clear that he's not too happy. On the other hand, McGregor's eyeing a return later this year, and a potential matchup with Poirier might light up his eyes, as he plans to take revenge for the last 2 bouts. Poirier could also feel a little bit better if there was some confirmation about a potential fight with McGregor, but it seems that UFC doesn't want to say anything for sure until McGregor's back and training officially. Next, the view from McGregor's camp. As for McGregor, he wouldn't want to think twice about it and would absolutely cherish such an opportunity. He's a champion, and champions don't back away from any kind of challenges. In addition to all of that, he lost the last one disappointingly, and that'd be a hump he'd want to get over with as soon as possible. Although, at the same time, McGregor also has bigger plans, and there's a chance that a fight with Poirier might not be high on his priority list. He's already been a champion in 2 different weight divisions, and he's recently been beefing with Kamaru Usman, champion in welterweight, so it could be the case that McGregor wants Usman to be his next fight as he goes for a shot at a 3rd title. Kamaru Usman hasn't backed off from such a fight and has gone on to suggest a 4-way tournament, including McGregor even. Either way, the person who will decide the next bout for McGregor is Dana White, and he hasn't made a final decision yet. We can be sure, though, that whatever decision White takes will be in the best interest of his biggest asset and will provide a fantastic show for his fans. Now, everyone wants McGregor. McGregor, given his fantastic promotion skills and his big mouth personality, remains the ideal option for most fighters in the division. Everyone wants a big payday, and beating McGregor can make you a true superstar overnight. Forget beating. Getting in the ring with McGregor guarantees a lot of money and stardom, so most fighters get the appeal of facing McGregor and have wasted no time in starting beef with him. Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champion, called him out and offered him the chance to face up in a 4-man mini-tournament. However, he wasn't the only one, as Alexander Volkanovski, the current featherweight champion, also started a war of words with McGregor, landing the first blow by claiming that McGregor's bones break faster than a retainer case on Epstein's Island. Okay then. Apart from those two, the 2-weight champion Henry Cejudo and McGregor have also been exchanging words, and lots of people believe that this could be the clash for McGregor upon his return to the octagon. Nate Diaz is also in the running for a potential matchup, although this one remains slightly unlikely. And talk about unlikely scenarios, Jake Paul also vowed to knock out McGregor, but yeah, good luck with that, Jake. Next, Martin Boudet's illegal elbow on Beast Boy. The fan favorite Beast Boy was up against Martin Boudet in the heavyweight division, and Boudet, until round 3, had executed his gameplay to perfection. He'd managed to keep Chris Barnett's brilliant offensive play at bay and landed just the right amount of blows to be in control of the fight as it entered the last 90 seconds of round 3. That's when Boudet's elbow landed in the back of Barnett's head, and Barnett immediately reacted by falling to his knees. The referee confirmed that it was an illegal play and the fight was stopped, stopped, as it was eventually determined that Beast Boy couldn't continue any further. The judges went for a technical decision with 2 rounds already being played, and the decision was in favor of Martin Buday, 30-27, 30-27. Most fans and analysts can't believe that the judges saw the incident to be unintentional, and Barnett probably agrees with it. It was unexpected and a poor end to a matchup that had a lot of potential. Buday's hand was held high, but he wouldn't have wanted it to end that way, and Barnett's record fell to 1-2 in the octagon, leaving him pretty disappointed with his performance. No doubt that the elbow ended the match prematurely, but Buday was a firm favorite anyway, and that raises some questions about Barnett's future with the UFC. Up next, Dana White hoping for Jon Jones' return. Jon Jones last fought in the octagon in February of 2020, which means it has been more than 2 years since he was involved in a fight. Dana White doesn't give up on his marquee names and knows that Jones' poll is one of the best in the business, and he's waited patiently for Jones to bulk up. The reason behind Jones' extended absence has been his decision to move to the heavyweight division, and for that, he's been putting on a lot of weight, considering he was the champion in light heavyweight when he defeated Dominic Reyes. Since then, he's been pitted against Francis Ngannou, most famously, and the fight was ready to happen, but the two couldn't settle on the financial side of the bout, and Ngannou also suffered a knee injury. However, despite a lengthy delay, Jon Jones' return is one of the most awaited in UFC, and White can't wait to have him back in the ring. He's told Jones that he can even get a match against the GOAT of UFC, Stipe Miocic, on his return, and that's something Jones would be quite interested in. For White, that would be a brilliant match to add to their card in the summer, as it's already an action-packed and high-octane card, and Jones-Miocic would only elevate that event. Lastly, Jake Paul's challenge to Michael Bisping. You might not like the Paul brothers, but you've got to respect their hustle for calling out and trying to pick fights for a big payday with almost anyone in the business. Logan Paul has already managed to make a career out of it by landing a WWE contract, while Jake Paul's now is a professional boxer who has a 5-0 record, so it's probably fair to say they also put in a lot of effort to walk the talk. Michael Bisping's a former world champion winner in the UFC, but he's 43 and has been retired for a while now. He retired due to troubles with his eye, which got damaged in the bout against Kelvin Gastelum. That's probably why he won't get licensed for a boxing match against Jake Paul, but it could still happen somewhere. With Jake Paul, you never know, and if Bisping's up for it, licenses won't stand between a potential fight. We doubt the UFC will let it happen, so chances of an octagon fight are quite less, but a boxing match without sanctioning bodies could still happen if Bisping nods his approval. That's a wrap for this video. Who do you think McGregor should face upon his return to the UFC? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.